And why am I fascinated by wind chimes? I'm fascinated by wind chimes because they are driven, they are played, if you will, by Mother Nature. I was a weather woman for about 15 years, so I love the idea of the nature, the wind, whatever Mother Nature is doing is actually creating the music. So it's like listening to Mother Nature play an instrument. That's what a wind chime is. You're going to receive the hook as well. We've got it in a couple of choices. You're seeing on the video the butterfly, but there is also a dragonfly. You can use this indoors or outdoors. The colorful nature of it, I love the butterfly, has this kind of brushed copper tone, but then each one of the butterflies has an ombre effect of different colors. So the one that I'm looking at right now, the yellow going into green. If you go up, there's a yellow going into orange, which is, you know, absolutely my jam, makes me think of sunshine. And then actually, if the wind were playing this, the sound that you hear is so lovely and so, again, kind of organic, because the wind will just be moving through your chime and creating this lovely melodic sound. The chain itself is even also very pretty because inside you have these beautiful kind of glass marbles that you're seeing that spin around inside. So while the wind is moving the chime and creating the music, you also get the, you know, the eye-catching delight of these beautiful marble stations like jewelry. M70229 is your item number, brand new today. Let me welcome in my guest. Her name is Jennifer Baker, and she actually has the other one, the Dragonfly. Hi, Jennifer. Oh, I love you in your yellow. You look great.
Well, it's about time for spring colors,
Yeah,
right?
yes, absolutely. So can you first show us that you've got the butterfly as well. I have the butterfly. Do you have the dragonfly with you, or is that the dragonfly? I can't see. My eyes are bad.
These are the
Got
dragonflies.
it. Thank you, the dragonflies. Tell us about that
Oh,
one.
yeah, you're welcome. So these are cascading wind chimes. So if you think of the word cascading, you naturally think of like a waterfall, right? How it just cascades and tumbles down. Well, that's what this wind chime does. It's larger at the top and it sort of tapers down to the bottom, and it gives you 30 inches of gorgeous wind chime goodness. So, like you mentioned before, we'll go from top to bottom.
Sure.
It has a little S hook here for you to hook onto a shepherd's hook or a branch outside in your yard. And there are three different tiers or three different levels of wind chime. On each side, you have either a dragonfly, which is what I have here, or the butterfly, which you have there in the studio. And underneath of each little animal, each little insect, there are these gorgeous little bells that have this beautiful coppered patina to them. And they have the sweetest sound. They remind me of like in the old days when you would go into a shop and you'd open the door and the bells would ring to let the proprietor know that you're there. That's what they sound like, or like a little bicycle bell. And you also have each arm is it's not just a flat black. It's this beautiful coppered aged look that makes it look so artisan, such high quality. And this is brought to us by Marigold. Marigold is QVC's private line of whimsical, colorful, and playful garden accents, not only for your garden, but also for your home.
You know, what I love is actually, I love your description of how the chime was, or kind of the music that you're getting out of it, because if it's not a kind of chime that is a little bit too hard on the ear. It's really soft. There's like a softness to it, and yet you are still getting that musicality of it. So I come from a musical theatrical family, and so we would have chimes all over the place. And my father has his master's in voice, and he's a pianist and a composer, and so music is a big, huge part of my life and a big, big deal. So I love that you know, we're getting that sound, that nature's sound, and it is soft. It isn't one that, you know, is going to hurt your ears or irritate your neighbors, or even if it becomes really, really windy, you know what I'm saying? It's still going to be okay. The butterfly is so pretty here, and you know, it's that cutout metal, if you will, that is so pretty, yellow and orange, but then some of them are yellow and green, and it's just enough. It's not too much. I love that you were talking about that copper patina, that is that copper color with a little bit of black as well, that gives it almost an antiqued effect. And I encourage you to get more than one. If you could get the butterfly maybe for the front porch and the dragonfly for the back porch. I just think, and I have, you know, wind chimes around my house, and some of them are hanging on shepherd's hooks, if you will, or kind of like taller hooks in the yard, and I just have them hanging maybe even, you know, 4 feet off the ground, just because I like the sound. I like the sound. My dog is out in the yard. I like that it adds more movement to areas too. And there's something about a wind chime that is a little bit peaceful and kind of a throwback to a quieter time, a gentler time, an easier time, if you will, that is just really kind of, let me just listen to the elegant simplicity of the wind blowing through the chimes that are swinging from my porch, right?
That's right. And earlier you mentioned how we're turning our gardens and our outdoor spaces into our oases, our heavens, right? Our world is very noisy. We all have smartphones. We're getting dings and bings and chimes and social media alerts. And it's nice to go outside when it's quiet and you can feel the breeze. You can feel the warmth of the sun on your face. You take a break from being inside, you hear the birds, and then as the wind starts to blow, you hear this really gentle melodic tinkling in the background, and that's these wind chimes. And again, you get this cascading effect. Normally, wind chimes are kind of circular and they have these bells that hang down in like a staircase sort of a
Mm-hmm.
pattern.
Mm-hmm.
But the effect of these is quite different. It's a cascading, it's tiered. There's multi levels of movement and color going on here. Not even on the sides, not even on the legs here or the arms, but in the middle too, with these beautiful little marbles that are nestled in this coiled metal bit here in the middle. And this is what I love so much about the Marigold line.
Yeah, first of all, the butterfly one is going really, really quickly, so please don't wait on that. Jennifer actually has the dragonfly, which I think is fascinating. So the butterfly, of course, has the whole story of from caterpillar to butterfly. You are stepping out in all your beauty and all your power, and it took a moment for you to develop all of that, and then you just emerged amazingly. But a dragonfly has, lovely little folklore around it as well. I mean, there's something kind of whimsical and magical about that dragonfly, and even just the way that they alight on things and then just kind of fly away as well. I was going to ask you, Jennifer, can I have this inside by a window maybe where a breeze comes in? I mean, I'm thinking about caring for somebody who might be in a home or an assisted living and maybe they don't necessarily have a porch themselves, but they could have it by their window, yes?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, when I was getting ready for the show, I had mine hanging from the curtain rod in my room here, and they looked just as beautiful hanging on my curtain rod or hanging from a ceiling hook as they do outside in your garden.
You know what? I love that. And in fact, it reminds me, I still want to do this. When I grew up, we had the bead curtain. Do you remember the bead curtain? It's like a very 70s thing to do. I think I want to make a bead curtain again, but I would have this cascading from one room to the next. I think that's a great idea. Anyway, Jennifer, thank you so much. Scott, I'm sorry, Fran, you said how many of these have been spoken for? Over 150 of these have already been spoken for. M70229 is your item number. And this is something that's brand new today. So make sure, since the butterfly is so popular, that you don't miss out on that. Grab that before it goes away. So brand new this month, I have the bird feeder. Wow.